Welcome to another episode of All Things Entrepreneur, where we shine a light on the blind side of entrepreneurship. It's your boy, Errol J. Allen with
Jessica Myers. How you feeling today?
I am blessed and highly favored. How about yourself?
Oh, when I tell you, I'm feeling pretty good. Especially when I tell you the guest that we have today. I had the pleasure of joining his call. He does a weekly call, actually twice a week. He does a weekly call twice a week with his audience. And the gems that he dropped, he gives way too much information. And it's called Coffee and Crypto. It's like, just come up, get your coffee. We're going to talk crypto. And we're going to learn about all things in the crypto space. Please welcome Mr. Vincent Owens. How you feeling?
I am feeling amazing.
The Blockchain Enthusiast.
Oh, man. I appreciate
yes. It's the spooky, the untold. But you know what I realized, though? Because I love to travel.
Yeah.
And, you know, when they tell us when you go to Mexico, you know, I love to trade in the dollar, and then they hand you a stack full of pesos, right? Or when we were going over to Africa and Europe, and you go, well, maybe not so much Europe. When we were going to different countries in Africa, though, you hand them $1, $20, and then they hand you back this large stack of money. Mm-hmm. And so when they start talking about crypto and Bitcoin, and it's just like, oh, that's nothing. But how many thousands are we up to now?
Well, number one, are we talking about Bitcoin?
Yes, Bitcoin. How many dollars does it take? So it's like when you go to those small countries, you're like, yeah, I turn in $1 and get all these pesos. But something like Bitcoin, right? How many wads of ones would you need to equal one Bitcoin?
Well, currently right now you need 70,262 $1 bills in order to buy one Bitcoin.
So that feels like the equivalence of how you turn into 20 and get a whole bunch of pesos, right? You're like, I get my money go long. Exactly. But now the opposite. If I get one Bitcoin, I have to have 70,000 $1 bills.
Yeah, which is nuts to think about, right? Because in 2010, this was under $1, you know, and so I think that's kind of where we are right now, is just understanding where we are currently, but we also got to go to the past, and you got to understand why crypto is important. Why is blockchain important? Why do the largest organizations in the world want this stuff to be legalized? And so that's what, you know, I would think we should really spend time talking about today on the show.
And which we gotta just get, because, you know, crypto for starters. We might just call this crypto for starters this episode, because
let me write that down.
Yes, before we even like jump into it, we gotta understand the basic stuff. What is blockchain? What is a Bitcoin? What is crypto? Like what? Like let's address each one of those actually. Let's start with that.
All right, perfect. So easiest way for me to do this is number one, to just first off, when we think of the word crypto, in one word, what would you say that is?
Cryptic.
Okay.
Like scrambled.
I don't actually have an answer for the what I actually think the word crypto. One word. I would think ancient, or because of crypts, like ancient. That's what I would go with.
Yeah. So it does go back that far, right? Because cryptography, right? There's something called hash algorithm that the Space Force and the military uses, right? This is military grade stuff that we're talking about, right? Government, like it's a lot of NDAs involved. That's why you don't see all of this stuff. You see Bitcoin, you see Ethereum, but we'll talk more about that. When we're talking about crypto in one word, I would say crypto is software. That's it. When has software ever been bad? Software is only bad when bad people use it, right? So that's the first thing that we have to demystify. Is most people say, oh, crypto's Bitcoin or crypto's money. That's the traditional. Y'all are a lot smarter. You know what I mean? So but for the average person that has no idea about this, they really think about this as money. And you have to separate money from it because it's so far beyond money and what it will do for your penny. You put one penny in, what it could do for that. Imagine buying one Bitcoin at a penny when it was worth a penny. $70,000. So
I had a friend, she did interviews and surveys when it first came out, and they were just giving away, like, cool, you take the survey, we'll give you 13 Bitcoin. And so she amassed like thousands of Bitcoin. And I remember when, you know, some of the things happened, she was like, does all the news coming out, does that mean? And I was like, yes, that's per unit. She was like, I was just getting this just for filling out surveys.
So just to stay on track, Bitcoin, so that's what I would answer with crypto. It's software. Now, Bitcoin is a certain software. It has a use case, right? In it doesn't have much of a use case. There's two different types of blockchain protocols out there. There's multiple, but there's two foundational blueprints to blockchain. You have proof of work and you have proof of stake. Proof of work is where Exactly what it sounds like. You have to do some level of work. So you ever heard of Bitcoin miners?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh, my goodness.
We can talk about that later.
Perfect. So literally right now we're 7 days away. We're 1 week away from the next halving. The last one was last 4 years ago, right? Now every halving also follows the election cycle. Okay, so that's why this year you see a lot of Democrats and Republicans, crypto. There's a lot of stuff in because everything happens for a reason around this cycle. And so typically, and this is where I want to start, is by saying that, well, before we get there, so you have Bitcoin and then you have everything else. And everything else is considered altcoins or alternative coins, right? And so they all have different use cases, maybe. Some of them are meme coins, or I can't use the word that we, but SHI, the word coins. Okay, that's what they call them on Twitter. Or you have utility tokens, which is what I focus on teaching people how to invest into. So you have a lot of degens, and they get into a bag right now. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. I got friends that's, it took $100 to 20 grand in a week. I've seen it happen. And you probably like, why are you not messing with it? Like, why don't you jump? Because it's gambling. I'm not a gambler. I've read Warren Buffett's life. I study Warren Buffett. As a person I study, Charlie Munger.
But Warren Buffett is against crypto.
It's not about him being against it. This is a new asset class. Warren Buffett was my age when stocks first started. I'm 31, right? What did he tell people? $10 a week. If you can do $10 a week into stock, your life will change. Look at his life now. He did exactly that. And look at his client's life now. They did exactly that. So this is a brand new asset class that people don't understand because they think it's just Bitcoin. So really, when we get into the technology and the software of crypto, right, we're connecting into a new world called Web3, right? And I know a lot of people have heard of that term. Web 1 was the traditional internet. I pulled up Apple stock right here, okay?
About what, $1,000?
No, well, it's had a bunch of splits, right? So it's at 173 at this very moment.
What do you mean by splits?
So I'm not a stock guy. I'll be honest with you. Okay, I stay in my lane. But stocks do some type of split, as I guess as the shares become worth more or something like that. They split it down to, I guess, make more shares.
Isn't that dilution of shares?
Yeah, pretty much, right? So the price goes down. So like Tesla used to be at like a lot, and now I don't know what Tesla's price is, but it's much lower than when it used to be. And people are like, why? It's because of
it's more of them.
Now the thing is, if you were in it, then the split makes sense for you. But if you weren't in it, right, then I believe that the split probably doesn't make as sense because you're getting it for a lower price, right? Which, I mean, it makes sense, but it doesn't. But staying in my lane of crypto, if we go back to, let's go back to the year I was born. Let's go to October 12th of 1992. You know how much Apple was worth then?
Pennies.
43 cents.
Yeah.
I got some cryptos today. I'm gonna show you that's less than 43 cents, or right at 43 cents, or right at 43 cents. We going crazy because see, the thing is, if we go to Bitcoin used to be at that price.
Yeah. In 2008.
But you couldn't even buy it. You didn't even know how to buy it. Like, it's the people that bought Bitcoin, they were engineers. They were people that were already in tech. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and that's fine. Like, you had to know how to get it. You still could have got it though in 2017 and been good, but I'd rather buy a $1 Bitcoin, right, than a $20,000 Bitcoin. So even though I got people that bought a full Bitcoin at 20 grand when it was at, and they're up to 70. But I ask you a question: is that life-changing money? No. I mean, you can do something with that. You can go put a deposit down on a house, fix and flip, do something, right? There's a lot you can do. But when we're talking about this space creating life-changing money, like multi-billionaire, some people will be trillionaire. First trillionaire, I believe, will come out of crypto.
Just from the penny altcoins.
Yeah, because there's people that have like millions of XRP because they bought it at 0.000, right? But it wasn't mainstream. Nobody knew about it. I've been buying it since 2018, but people still didn't know what it was. I didn't even know what it was. I'm just gonna get rich by mistake. The guy that put me in crypto, Anointed Elites, my brother. We run a podcast called mine is Coffee and Crypto, but we have another one called Crypto Nerds. It's a community, and so within the Crypto Nerds, Anointed was the first person that introduced me to XRP. And so I was living in San Diego. I was in the cannabis industry at the time, right? And what happened was I just bought it. He was like, look, just buy it by mistake. He was like, you're going to get rich by mistake. And I said, all right, cool. I trust you. So I did it, and life has been straight. You know what I mean? Like, we haven't seen crazy prices, but we'll get there. That's later in the conversation.
So the same way you got into Ripple is the same way I got into Ripple. Yeah. My boy said, just buy it. I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to listen to that.
Just listen. Like what? Like, at the time, it was 13 cents.
Exactly. Man, it did a little hike too. But yeah, so go on.
Okay, cool. So I bring up Apple in 1990, 1992 being pennies, because now we can really understand the value. Because what is Apple? Software. It's technology, right? What is iOS? It's a software. Android, software. So now that we understand that, how valuable is that software today versus in 1992? Okay, so 1992, we're in what, 2020? So let me just go off of that. I'm 31. So 31 years later, we're here. So can people be patient for a 30-year span, a 20-year span? I don't think crypto is going to take that long, though. This stuff is parabolic.
Yeah, it's like,
it's parabolic.
He didn't even tell you your word. That's like his word.
That's your word right there?
That's his word.
We're going parabolic.
That's his word. And you didn't even tell him. Wait, did you set this up?
He never told me. He didn't pay me to say that. But
that is his word.
It's going parabolic.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, ski. So with that being said, right? So if we look at the crypto market today, because I have up my charts, and I'll turn my chart around so you all.
Oh, we get educational classes today.
You said for beginners, right?
Just FYI, just speak on it as well, because of people who can't see. For all
I got you. Yeah, for sure. But for y'all's eyes, right? So the beginning of the last bull run was actually on my birthday, October 12th, right? 2023. So we started this uptrend. Now, when you're trading, you have to understand that the trend is your friend. That's the first thing you learn when you become a day trader, right? The trend is your friend. So I'm following the trend. Right now, we're in an uptrend for crypto, but this is the problem, right? Historically speaking, and I'm going to take you through the history, but we're 7 days from the halving, and never in crypto history has the price been this high pre-halving.
Because normally and here's maybe me as a conspiracy theorist, I think, don't they try to do the news to scare you to drive the price down around the halving? Because the average person doesn't understand the concept of halving. And for those that do, it's like, let's drive the price down, get people scared, so that when the halving happens, we can buy it cheaper and get back in and then ride the wave up.
This year's flipped. Right now, so if we go back, I told you all, it's every 4 years. So let's go back to 2020.
Side question, just so people know, what is halving?
Okay, so a Bitcoin, thank you. A Bitcoin halving is basically a part of the proof of work. So back to, we were talking about proof of work, right? Miners, they get paid for every block. So if we think about it in these terms, let me talk about it this way. So if we think about blockchain, this is not blockchain, right? But let's say that this was the Bitcoin book. Blockchain is a book. If I were to explain it to you, it's a digital ledger. It's a digital book. It holds information, whether that's transaction of money, data being transferred. Each block is, so in Bitcoin, it has a 256 hash algorithm. Now, this algorithm of hash was created by the NSA, right? And the CIA, all these 3-letter organizations, right?
Alphabet Clan.
ABC, CFD, all right? So they were literally, they've created this technology to be able to protect data, right? Bitcoin is using that data, and they told us that they didn't know who created it. They said the person's name was Satoshi Nakamoto, right? Yeah. But who is Satoshi Nakamoto? Well, we don't know. But do you think Larry Fink at BlackRock? Do you think Michael Saylor? Do you think Kathy Woods with ARK Investment? Do you think any of these investors, Mike Novogratz, would invest billions of dollars, create an ETF fund if they've never shook the hand of the person that they're creating the ETF for? Never. That would never happen. So they do know who has created it. It's all about the game. So the Bitcoin halving, every 4 years, the reward of what you get when you successfully complete a block as a miner, right? A block is just 256 hash algorithm. Once the 256 transactions is complete, that block is done. It takes a certain amount of time. Who knows? Some people crack the code because it's all this algorithmic code. It's confusing. It's above my pay grade. All right. So I'm not here to break down the blockchain necessarily because that's too deep. But just to have an understanding, every 4 years, the block is cut in half. So right now, Okay, if we go over to where it says halving right here, you can actually see, and I want to open up more so you guys can actually see this real quick.
And halving, for all my economics people too, it's a way of reducing or protecting inflation.
Yes, protecting inflation, right? So it cuts in half, because what happens is there's only a certain amount of Bitcoin that was ever created, right? And so being that there were only a certain amount of Bitcoin that was created, they put it in a smart contract, so it was like a little bit a drip, right? All the way until I think it's like the year
2141.
2141, right?
2141.
2141. I'm not a big Bitcoin guy, but I understand the tech. So this year it goes from 6.25 Bitcoin down to 3.125 Bitcoin per block, which ultimately, in my mindset, it formulates a monopoly in the space, because if you're getting paid less and less and less, but inflation's going up, the price of the building that you're at, that mortgage that you're paying on the building that you bought to do all of the Bitcoin mining, that's going to continue to increase within real estate. So if you're getting paid eventually less than one Bitcoin, even if Bitcoin is worth $200,000-$300,000 a Bitcoin at that time, it still doesn't make up for how many people got to work there, how much energy you got to pay for the energy bill, just everything, right? So I believe what is going to end up happening is just like everything. It's set up that way because there's only going to be a few Bitcoin miners around the world, right? And those who knows what those are, right? We have one miner here in Atlanta, in Georgia, called CleanSpark. You can actually invest in their stock. The stock's been going crazy, but CleanSpark, they actually use, it's solar or wind, but I believe it's solar energy instead of electric.
Ooh, and that's been huge, because that was the part of the huge problem when there were miners, or mining was going crazy.
Yes.
In the earlier years, it was the energy conservation concern. Mm-hmm. So that's huge.
So pre-halving, typically, like if we go back to 2020 right here, let's go all the way back to 2020. So let's just go back to the election. Elections happen in November every year, right? So November of 2020, the total, I'm talking about, this is in Bitcoin, the total crypto market cap as a whole. The total crypto market cap, including Bitcoin, was at around 479 billion, right? After the halving, okay, the election happened, 2021 came, COVID, I don't know if y'all say that word, but that happened, okay?
And then, shadow ban.
Yeah, you know how it be. You know how it be. You got to really watch your words with the people out here. So, but the market rose from 48 billion to about 2.4 trillion in 1 year. And I was a part of that. I remember that bull run. You remember that bull run. We all remember that bull run if you were in crypto, right? And so what happened was the pullback happened. And over the last couple of years, you know, after the pandemic, we just went sideways, which is called consolidation. And one thing about traders is we love consolidation, especially long periods, because we know the breakout's going to be crazy. It's just the fact that the market broke out in October of 2023.
Your birthday.
My birthday. I tell people, I think I'm gonna be rich. I'll be rich by my birthday, by 20, like, I don't know. Every birthday we're gonna celebrate, every 4 birthdays, you know what I mean? It's a movie. So either way, we started going up, and we went from 1.25 trillion back up to now in like the $2.6 trillion market. Okay. So, but here's the thing. All of the big executives are saying that crypto is going to be a $10 trillion market by the year 2030. So even if you get in at 2 trillion and it goes to 10 trillion, you just don't want to wait till it get to 10 trillion. You don't want to wait till it gets to 100 trillion because this market is not going to stop. It's about liquidity. It's about all the money in the world. And so that's what we're going to get into with more topics of specific cryptos and why I preach on certain ones, and my true belief of what's about to happen, and why people really need to be in this space, even if they don't understand it, because they could just get rich by mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, because like you said, I mean, especially if you were in before if you look at the trend, like you said, trends are your friends, look at the trend of what happened at the last halving to know what's going to happen. And even more so this one, because people are more educated.
Yeah.
So crypto for starters.
Yes.
Where do I go to get information on what to invest in? What are the sources I should go look for? The sites?
Yeah. So outside of myself, because I'm not going to be biased, I'm going to give you some stuff that.
But you are a great resource, because I was on the call this morning, and when I tell you, I know a little bit, just a little bit, enough to make me dangerous.
Yeah.
But I could follow everything that you were talking about. It wasn't like you were speaking Spanish. You broke it down simply, and you gave a lot of information. And this is like free to join your call.
Yeah, it's free.
You have other resources and things like that. But I mean, just what you were able to get off the call, I was able to understand what's happening now. Like, even if you just want the state of the market and how to get in, you provide a lot of resources.
Yeah. I appreciate that. So some other resources, one of the main sites that you can go to is CoinMarketCap. That's your
The Bible.
That's the Bible of crypto, right? So CoinMarketCap, some other sources, YouTube University is the best place. There's quite a few influencers. I'm not going to name influencers because really it's based on what you love, right? Everybody, like, some people are into gaming. I tell people, like, my private clients, they're like, what should I invest in? Oh, I want to get what you got. No. What I'm investing in is my faith. What's your faith? Like, what do you do? What's your day-to-day like? Are you a gamer? Someone who sits around and games all day, they get paid to game. Like, they probably would stay in an investment in the gaming sector, in the AI sector, over the decentralized finance sector, or, the real world asset sector, right? So there's so many sectors. Same way in stocks. There's multiple sectors. There's so many sectors that haven't even been discovered yet in crypto.
Wow.
That's a great way to look at it. And I definitely understand where you're going with that.
Mm-hmm.
I still want to know, like, what, because again, my game, like, say I am the gamer one.
Yeah.
My gaming thing,
Because he is a gamer.
it made 2x, right?
Yep.
But what you're invested in is going to 5x, maybe 10x based on the information that you know. So I still want to be
I still make sure people, but I also make sure that like have some things that you're passionate about in there as well. You know what I mean? Because it makes it fun for you. You may not like to research XRP like I do. It's boring stuff. It's documentation. I mean, it's like reading long government documents and being nosy. I know I'm like.
Hey, but when that court case passed,
oh man, it's the only so right now in the U.S. there's only 2 digital assets that have a regulatory clarity, and that's Bitcoin, Bitcoin, right? But the for sure one is XRP. Not Ethereum, not Solana, none of them. Only XRP. And so right now, the reason why we're in the speculation, to go back to what you were talking about, in the price being up right now, and the reason why is because not just the Bitcoin halving is on the way. That's not the problem. It's the ETF that they dropped at the end of the year in December, January. That pushed the market all the way up. They got so much retail money going in. The billionaires are not buying right now. Like, they may be, I'm not saying they're not, they have billions, but they're not, I guarantee you they're not putting their 100% of their efforts in at 2.7 trillion, right? Because they make money on us. They send the market up to crash it down. So I'm telling people right now, and I'm gonna say it boldly because I'm a bold person. This is crypto's Big Short moment. You ever seen the movie Big Short?
Yeah.
All right, this is where this is crypto's Big Short moment. And I promise you, everybody else is telling you Bitcoin halving gonna happen. Listen, this has never happened before, and the charts don't lie. We're getting exhausted 7 days before the halving. Now, can we still see a push to it? Yes, but I believe we'll see a drop because we've already created a double top. So I believe we on the chart, which means
dead count bounce. Isn't that a dead count bounce?
Yes. Yeah, it's liquidity. It's a liquidity pool, basically. It's basically telling, okay, we've reached a certain level of liquidity that the market is not happy passing. It went back down a little bit and it came back up to that same area, so that same price point, and now it's stalling at that price. So if it drops back down, to me as a trader, just by trade, I feel like, I tell people all the time, I'm personally looking to get back into crypto. I look at the total market. I don't really care about the altcoins. They're going to move whatever price. I look at that last. First thing I look at is the total crypto market cap, because that's the health. That's the heartbeat of the industry. So I'm looking at, right now we're at 2.6 trillion. I believe we could see right around 1.4 to 1.2. That's our support levels. So if we can execute at 1.4 or 1.2, those would be impeccable prices to catch the bull run at.
So what, in terms of timing, you taking months out? half a year, like for this
For this,
supposed pullback?
just looking at what happened when it went from to 1.252, how many that took 135 days.
So 4 months, some change.
4 months is some change.
Okay.
But that's because of the ETF. The market, if some bad news comes out, like there's a lot of stuff that's happening right now.
That's what I was saying. I was like, I feel
so much
like
bad news.
media may be used because I mean that's what leverage
Well,
and manipulates the stock market. So wouldn't that
Exactly.
be the same thing here?
It'll be the exact same thing, but then it's super governmental. So what's going to happen is there's a stable coin called USDT Tether. It's the number 3 token in the number 3 right after Ethereum. Okay, this is it's based out of China. US is not liking TikTok. They don't like nothing, right? The BRICS nations is agitating them, right? So just honestly, it's a lot of war going on, a lot of mischief going on. So what I could see happening is USDT is a stable coin, and let's explain that. So you have 3 different types of cryptos, right? And this is basic education for everybody. You have coins, which are called layer 1s. You have tokens, native coins. You have tokens, which would be layer 2s and layer 3s, and then you have stable coins. So the original coins are blockchain. Stable coins are still regular coins as well, but I just separate them because they do something different. But coins are original blockchains. Original blockchains are like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, XLM, Quant, whatever, right? So you have your original, and then they create what's called smart contract capabilities on the back end of them so that they can have layer 2s start to build on those platforms. They can start to do tokenization, which I really want to lead into. They're going to start talking about, they're going to start doing things with NFTs, and just because smart contracts is really what you need on the blockchain to make real world things come on the blockchain as a use.
What is a smart contract?
A smart contract is just like a regular contract. It's just a digital contract that keeps me and you, basically our word is bond. If me and you are doing a real estate deal, and you say, hey Vincent, I want my earnest money deposit, we could do that on a smart contract on the Hedera Hashgraph blockchain or the Ethereum blockchain or whatever we want to do. And that smart contract will make sure that you don't got to worry about me paying you. You don't have to worry about any of these fires that you would have to put out, because it
Speaking
will
of
be,
fires.
Speaking of fires, right? More fire. So now what happens is that money will be inside of my crypto portfolio, right? And in order to even initiate the smart contract, the money got to be there, right? All of the requirements. So now we have the money that's in there, your wallet on the other end, and the smart contract in between. And so on the day and the time that you program into that smart contract, your money will transfer immediately. No more 5 to 7 business days. It's 2 to 3 seconds, less than a penny fee.
Oh, beautiful stuff. So when it comes to projects that you are looking into how you invest, what are some like step-by-step things that you do to determine this is a project that I'm going to put my resources in?
First thing is I go to their page, just like Shark Tank, right? I'm an investor, so I'm looking at the team. I want to see the founders. I want to see the partnerships. Although I don't trust the Visa and MasterCard stuff no more on people's website after that Netflix movie. Y'all see, I don't know the name of it. You know what I'm talking about? There's this Netflix movie that came out. I wish I knew the name of it. Dang.
You know what?
But it talks about crypto?
Oh, it talked about the guy who had there's so many of them that came in. What was the one that
You know what it's called, Hebrew? No? Okay, gotcha.
you know what I'm talking about though, right? Yeah, so basically they created this company and they said, hey, we dropped like they went and bought a freaking they went and leased out like a building, right? Office space. And they made it look official, like they was lit. What's it called? Bitcoin. Yes. And yes.
Oh, because I was going to ask about some kind of...
And that's on Netflix?
We'll go get into that. So that's on Netflix.
All right, cool.
That's on Netflix. It's a good one. So what ends up happening at Bitcoin was they created this this company, and it was a BS company, and the whole time, and they took Visa and MasterCard's logos and put it, or Visa MasterCard or Visa logo, and they put it onto the website. They got a cease and desist from Visa later on, right? But they really ran this up multi-millions of dollars, maybe close to $1 billion. They ran this up, had people sending their money in, investing into their token, and their token had a card attached. It was amazing. And when I really think about it, all these companies say they do the same thing. So you really have to, not only look at their website, but now I got to go over to Visas. Now I got to go over to MasterCard. Now I got to go over to Amex. What blockchain companies are they talking about within some of these documents? And that's XRP, that's XLM, that's Quant, that's, XDC, that's HBAR, who has a governing council of almost 40 of the top organizations in the world, including Dell, IBM, Boeing, T-Mobile, LG, Swirls Labs, just anybody you can think of, Ubisoft for the gamers out there, you know what I mean? Like literally everything you could think of, every large company is focused on partnering with Hedera, which is crazy. So that's what I look at. I look at the partnerships. I look at, did the partners actually say, hey, we are partnering with them on their website, or can you only find it on their website? I get a little sketchy with that. I might still throw a little money in, but I'm not going to go
serious.
Yeah. Like I'm not going XRP. Like that's a big portion of my portfolio. I'm not talking about HBAR. It's a big portion of my portfolio.
Because isn't every altcoin, don't they come with white papers that give you more information? So is that something that you were looking for? Did Bitcoin, the Bitcoin, did they have a white paper on their site too? So
white papers don't matter. That's stuff that people can just type up and put. And teams don't matter either. Because on that movie, they had a guy, I don't know who it was, but I think he was a Wall Street guy that came like a big Wall Street guy, came and was an advisor, and he wasn't even an advisor anymore. He left. They came and talked to him. He was like, I haven't talked to those guys in forever. And they was like, we didn't remove him from the website because we felt like, they saw us young people, they weren't going to trust us. But if they saw the executive, he's in his 60s, they trust. So I think I look at that too. Like they got a bunch of young people. And then I go to LinkedIn. I go look. I'm nosy though. Like I have a master's in public health. I wrote a dissertation. So I'm very diverse.
Learned, studied, research.
I'm and that's why I tell people like my podcast is a safe space, because like anything I get on, I'm not talking speculation. I'm showing documents. I'm showing receipts.
Yeah. Oh, that's where you came already. You was like, I got
laptop
receipts.
Open.
Yes, because I mean, realistically, back in a couple of years ago, we got robbed of a sizable amount of crypto. And one of the things that we noticed is that crypto, like you mentioned, is about the tech and the technology. We were dealing with a lot of people. So when it was like, if you're dealing with too many people, so I will be interested, like you said, Bitcoin, where they're dealing with the people, and like you said, the showmanship, the office, and they sell you on that versus the technology, which is really the impact of what it is. Because that's how we were able to get robbed.
And this happened in 2001 in the .com bubble. There were plenty. Ask Jeeves. Remember Ask Jeeves?
Yep.
Right? Like Ask Jeeves, I think they still have a website, but there's nothing on it. You know what I mean? It's still a search engine. But like a lot of these MSN, like they're still around, AOL. Who uses these things anymore?
They were still charging my dad for AOL dial-up, and I was just like,
what?
Because he forgot to turn it off and didn't even know. I was like, email is free.
Where's the money going to?
But they still checking it. They were like, we're sorry, we'll cancel it. Can you run that check back?
The same bank account for 50 years.
Just taken out. So no, I know what you mean.
So we can geek out on this and all the ups and all that, but let's talk about some of the downs.
All right.
We gotta talk about what's been one of your biggest L's that you've taken. What is the lesson learned from it?
Dealing with people, dealing with too many people, getting into these crowdfunding DeFi pools and all this staking stuff. Hey, listen, man, if there's no regulate, if I can't manage it, I'm not putting it in. And unless it's a legit protocol, like unless it's a Hedera Hashgraph wallet that's made and they promote it on their website, they talk about this wallet, perfect. I stake on that wallet.
Yeah, because even with the program that we got scammed from, that we had they were pulling money out of our wallet, and it was like, how could you do that?
Can't even do nothing.
You're not supposed to do that, and there was nothing we could do about the money that they took out of our wallet
because it's not regulated. No FDIC regulation, nothing. All right. So the second thing, biggest mistake I made was FOMOing in, which is fear of missing out, right? And allowing for the FUD, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt, stop me from going harder than I should have went on a certain token, so I could have been up, or funding me in at the top, which is what a lot of people are doing right now. They're getting. I tell you, look, if you don't got a crypto portfolio right now is not the time to build a crypto portfolio. I mean, unless you don't mind your money going down, unless you don't mind seeing your, $2,000 go to $900 over the next couple of months potentially, or maybe it doesn't. I'm not here to tell people it's going up or down. I'm just here to say that it's at good prices right now. Some of them you want to definitely get in. And the third thing that I would say, my biggest mistake that I made is, I would just say like not taking enough of, and I think it kind of ties back into the last one, but not taking enough of the right risks early on, like XRP.
Too conservative.
Too conservative.
Yeah.
And it comes from fear. And you really got to think about, like, investing is 90 to 95% spiritual and mental. And it's only 5%. You click the button. Like, how hard is it to click a button?
Yeah.
Like people make it too damn hard.
Spot
you know
on.
why you can't click the button?
Everything that happened and accumulated up until that point of you clicking the button.
Yeah. All the people that told you, mama said, oh, it ain't gonna work. Listen, mama gonna, LL Tuesday was right. Mama gonna knock you out. She gonna knock you right out this market. You ain't gonna be in this market. So, yeah.
Also awesome. So now let's flip the script.
Yeah,
let's talk about some sizable returns. You ain't gotta give numbers, but I made a play on this coin, and 9 months later I had a 200% return, something like that.
Yeah. So I'm not sure of the percent necessarily, but I can tell you that, like, in 2018, I bought a token called Harmony, which is ticker symbol 1 ONE, and I purchased that. It was at like 0.004 at the time, so 0.4 of a penny. That thing went up to 50 cents, I think. That was the highest that it went, and I think I was able to get, just accumulate. I don't know. I put like $200 in. Again, little faith. I had so much more money. I was selling weed back then, so I was like in Cali. I had thousands of dollars. I was rather go to the club and spend it. Right? I was like 26, 27 at the time, so it's cool. But anyway. 0.004, I was able to get about 50,000 of those tokens, which I was like, oh yeah, killing it. And that the $200 went to about 20 grand.
Wow. Also, you were the example you were giving earlier. You were like, I knew somebody who put 200 and got 20 grand. That was you.
No, well, I know a lot of people that did that. I know a lot of people that did that. Like all of our stories, because we were all on the same cause. Like back then, it was like community cause, same as coffee and crypto. We was just like, look, I'm gonna put $200 into this coin tonight, and then we was like, I'm gonna let it sit. And everybody like. Yeah, I've seen tens of thousands in different coins that have accumulated over the time. But we're in the bear market though, so that, like, if you didn't, and that's another thing. Oh, another mistake. I didn't secure my bag at the top. All right, I didn't secure my bag at the top.
You just said like exit order. What you mean?
So dollar cost averaging.
Okay.
Right. So the audience knows what dollar cost averaging is. Dollar cost averaging is when basically you set a timeline for your investments. You get very organized and you invest maybe every week, every other week,
no matter
once a month, no matter what,
Yeah.
right? You invest. It doesn't have to be the same amount, but you're putting something in every single week. Warren Buffett, $10 a week, right? Cool. So, where was I going? I don't even.
Dollar cost averaging.
Oh, yeah, dollar cost averaging. Sorry about that. So with the dollar cost averaging strategy, most people educate people on dollar cost averaging into the technology, right? What I talk to people about is, what about dollar cost averaging out?
To get your wins.
To get your wins. That's your confidence, right? So I lost a lot of confidence because I had all this money in crypto, but I didn't know anything about stable coins.
Okay.
Right? Because in stocks, you don't got a stable stock. When you sell it, it go back in your bank account. What you got to do?
Pay taxes.
Yeah, short-term, long-term capital gains. You know what I mean? But if in crypto, I don't got to put it back into my Wells Fargo. I can just put it over into a stable coin.
USDC.
Yeah, USDC, one of those, right? And hold that value. So imagine if I made 20 grand off of $200. Let's say I had to just held 15 grand at the top. Now you got $15,000 to invest in the bottom. So there's going to come a time, and I might be saying too much. I might be giving away too many gems, but there's going to come a time where people won't even have to take money out their bank account anymore to invest in crypto because we're so early. Like, there's so many waves that are coming, right? So if you can just get used to stabilizing the top of those waves, those profits, even if it goes higher than where you stabilized at, don't be greedy. That's another problem, right? People have is they get greedy. So just stabilize what you can and then have some income for yourself when the market pulls back, because it's always going to pull back.
That's the interesting part, because like you said, it's not really a stock market and it's more so about the technology. But as a lot of smaller, less advanced countries talk about using the science and technology of crypto to stabilize their markets and economies, it seems so volatile.
Yeah, well, that's what the stable coin was created. So right now, and thank you, we're going straight into where we're supposed to go, right? It always works on time. And that's what we're talking about today on Coffee and Crypto, is the fact that so before any other regulation drops, stablecoin regulation is going to come in the U.S. That's the first regulation. They're pushing stablecoin regulation, and USDC, as in Corey, or it's core crypto, right? USDC, not USDT as in Tango out of China, but USDC is a US-based company, right? They are directly partnered with Coinbase. Coinbase, right? Now you can follow the funnel. Coinbase is IPO'd. They're on the stock market, right? It's the first exchange ever, first crypto company on the stock market. Boom, Coinbase. Who is Coinbase? Who manages, or not manages, who's the custodian for BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF? What's the technology?
Coinbase. So
now we see that, BlackRock owns 99% of all assets. That's their plan, to own 99% of everything in the world. World Economic Forum, you own nothing and be happy with it. So even with you all being in real estate, you notice that more people are renting than buying. You know what I mean? Because that's the world we're moving into, is a more rental-based.
So you can move more easily. It makes it more fluid. And you're not necessarily tied to anything. You can move around more.
Exactly.
But how does this lend to stabilization of like international markets?
Well, because the stable coin is pegged 1-to-1 to the US dollar or whatever other asset. So it doesn't have to be a dollar. It doesn't have to be a yen. It doesn't have to be a peso. It could also be pegged to a commodity like gold.
Gotcha.
And so now you have the BRICS nations. You have, Zimbabwe? It was one of those countries in Africa. It just came. I have the clip from 19 Keys, but literally, I think it's Zimbabwe. It's one of these countries in Africa. Their currency was all the way like it's not worth anything. You could be a trillionaire there and still be a broke boy. So it's like it doesn't make sense. So, long story short, they have now switched over to a gold-backed currency.
Gotcha. So they're bringing it back.
They're bringing it back. Gold-backed currencies are coming back. BRICS nations.
And that's going to be even better than the American dollar.
Yeah. So imagine if XRP, because I have my reasons for this, and it's kind of deep for this show, but imagine if XRP, right, became the world's reserve digital currency, meaning because one world order is on the way, right? Imagine if that's the protocol, the software they use to transfer all money. And Ripple just joined the ISDA. You know who the ISDA is? The ISDA is the International Swaps and Derivatives Association. The derivatives market, you can look it up. I'm going to show you right now. How big is the derivatives market? Let's see. How big is derivatives?
You know what we're going to do in the future? We're going to have it because again, shout out to Vince being the first guest, bringing a laptop and, walking the walk. We're going to have it on big.
We'll have it up here on the
big. Yeah, we're going to have it. We didn't get it right today because we wasn't put on notice, but going forward, people want to bring that option, we'll have it ready.
I got you. So the derivatives market, I don't want to spend much time. Let me see. Here it is. Look at this right here. So 2023, the derivatives national amounts increased in the first quarter of just in one quarter to 26.6 trillion or 13.9% to $2.17.6 trillion, right? So Ripple is the only blockchain company, distributed ledger technology company, that is partnered with the ISDA. That means they're about to move all of this money from Forex, foreign exchange, which is a $6.6 trillion a day market.
This is music to my...
If you do the math on that, what's 6.6 trillion times 365? That's a couple quadrillion dollars, about $2 quadrillion. So imagine if Ripple just gets 10% of that market, 5%.
So I know he ain't gonna say it. I'm not gonna say I'm no crypto expert either, but get you some Ripple, get you some XRP. That's pretty much what that just said. Get you some XRP.
And like you said, mess around and get lucky.
Yeah, get rich by mistake.
So what programs do you have, or what can people find and speak more to to ways people can work with you and understand more about the crypto world?
Yeah, I have things for people of all areas. I have 2 books that I've written since my career. My first book is called I got to print those out, by the way. They're ebooks, but it's called The Secrets of Crypto and Money. It was my first book. It's a 69-page ebook. Takes you from A to pay. And then
A to pay, I like that.
From A to pay. And
Not A to Z, A to pay.
A to pay. You know what I mean? And then my second book was called Mo Crypto, Mo Problems. I released that a year and a half later because if you had followed everything I said for a year and a half, you own some crypto, and more money, more problems, more crypto, more problems. You know what I mean? So that was my second book. So those are just 2 books that people can find, in my social media. I have a link tree, and have those in there. I have quite a few master classes, but the main thing right now that I'm focused on is building my Discord group, because that's where people can gain more access to me. I think that that's the easiest way, and I'm doing a lifetime membership right now. So yeah.
Well, one of the things I will say, you're one of the most spirited, people that you find. Like every time I see you, me and Joel always look and be like, we're exactly where we're supposed to be. We saw Vincent.
I say the same thing.
Right? He popped up in a park, and it was just like, I came out here to look at $1 million houses, and he ran into, us. And that's one of the things, if you want to tie into somebody who's really walking the walk and living it, you definitely are him.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So let's tie, because we want to talk about crypto, but let's talk about the person, Vincent. Before crypto, before all of that, what was you on? What was you doing?
Let's close that down for a second. All right. Well, I'm 31 now. So I've always been a scholar. I've always been in school. So all I knew was school. The highest degree I have is a Master's of Science in Public Health. I'm a medical school dropout. I left Ohio State after...
The Ohio State,
excuse me. Let me put some respect on that name. But I left the Ohio State after a semester of doing a post-bac program there. Decided that I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. And I decided I wanted to be on the right side of money, like everybody else, right? So ended up coming over there seeking. My cousin called me, was like, hey, I got a dispensary license. I moved to San Diego. Imagine what my mom said. My dad, everybody was crazy.
No!
Crazy. I'm 25 years old, moving to Cali. I didn't even know.
Just that week.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I had $8,000 in my bank account. Talk about moving to San Diego. But I survived for 4 years off of $8,000 that I put in originally. So that was the beginning of entrepreneurship. While I was in San Diego, because there's a lot of lifted and enlightened people in California, I ran across some people who were day trading in the the MLM back in the day, the IMLs and stuff. I think it's still around.
Throwback.
It's still around. You know what I mean? But yeah,
I know.
You definitely know those guys. but so I was in that company. That's what kind of threw me from healthcare into finance. And I was like, I can still be a doctor over here. I can still help people financially, financial health. So I really plugged in. I got really plugged into crypto right during the pandemic. I was already invested, but I got into like, man, I can do my own thing. I really know this stuff. And so I created Coffee and Crypto 2 years ago, February of 2022, which was the year that I spoke at InvestFest for the first time, which was, that was like the biggest stage I ever spoke on. So that was like really exciting.
Nice.
Yeah, it was super dope. And that's what really took my career off with followers and just everything. And I've just grown since then. You know what I mean? I stayed consistent and true to what I love.
Awesome. How does your family and friends take this? Let's say family. I ain't gonna say family. How does the family receive this now? Because obviously, from hey, I'm about to move to Cali and retire from this career of medical, like, you're about to do what? To now, how have they responded?
At first they weren't sure. I could tell it, but I've made something of myself. So they can see that I've made, and now I'm proud of you. And all of that stuff rolling in, which I'm grateful for. My mama has always supported me. My mom's never missed it. My mom probably watching this episode now.
Yeah.
Not even probably. She called me before I got on. I was like, I'm sorry, I won't be able to be there. I catch all your stuff live. Don't worry, it's not gonna be live, Mom. You'll be able to catch it later. So
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So my mom is my biggest support system forever. I'm an only child, so I'm her only son. So my dad's only son. So I really, I'm going to retire. Mom,
I love it.
She's fully invested. So, out of all my family members, my mom goes hard. There's a couple of my family members that's now investing in crypto, but shout out to my mom.
Okay.
I love it.
So let's get to the end of the pretty rainbow. You make the big moves in crypto. Everything's 5x, 10x returns, and you're sitting very pretty.
Yeah, definitely.
What are you gonna do with the money then? What's the next? Like, are you gonna keep it in crypto, move it out? What's the place then?
Yeah, so I call myself a digital entrepreneur, right? So I look for digital ways to make money online, but I'm not crazy that real estate is always going to be the thing, owning land. So my biggest thing is, number one, getting my real estate portfolio up, and with good people like y'all to do that off these investments that I'll have. Also, I plan to also get my own, I plan to get the series. So I want to, get the Series 7, I believe it is. Series 7 and Series 66. I believe it's 66. But either way, I'm going to go and get those. And those will help me become an asset manager where I can actually manage people's money. So that's my 10-year goal. Is by the time I'm 41, in my 40s, I'll be managing digital assets.
Nice.
Whether that's gold, real estate, tokenized, whatever, and that's really, that takes us into the next thing. I like to finish the conversation, but I like to go into tokenization.
Oh yeah, we did that
because it's really, really important for a lot of your viewers who are in these different industries. But yeah, that's where I see myself investing into, and in a lot of philanthropic work. It's a lot of homeless people. I feel like I've done a well enough job where if at least 2 or 3 of these assets go to where I project, it'll do a different place for sure.
Have you heard of the Founders Pledge?
Never heard of that.
That's where when you're gonna make sizable amount of money, and it's literally a thing where you pledge, to your point, what philanthropic work you're gonna do when you hit this milestone. So when I make my first billion, I'm gonna give so many percent. Like a lot of the 1% of people in the upper echelon, they do what's called a Founders Pledge.
Okay, well, I'll do my Founders Pledge now. I'm not the only person getting rich. I'm gonna create 1,000 millionaires by 2030.
Okay.
Multi-millionaires. But I have in those 1,000, that's an army. And then the goal is, it's on my vision board. I saw it from Tony Robbins, so I got inspired. But we're going to feed 1 billion people around the world. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen in a year, but it'll happen.
Well, I mean, hey, you never know.
It'll happen in a year.
I was because you can get creative. You're talking about you're digital. Like you said, if you were physically trying to be that person, but there is a way that maybe digitally you can make that happen.
I could make it happen. So we're gonna figure that out, but that's my pledge.
I love it.
1 billion people.
I love it.
Awesome.
Well, I mean, this has been an amazing episode, and I'm not even going to ask. Well, I'll ask one more time just because you have your book here. What is one of the books that has inspired you?
Well, this book has inspired me, but probably the book that inspired me the most was Secrets of a Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker.
Yep, that's a good one.
That one's better than because the thing is, you got Think and Grow Rich. And Think and Grow Rich is old. It's old language. I can't relate to those stories. I can read them. I
think they modernized it. They updated it.
And they have one with Dennis Kimbrough from Morehouse. He has Think and Grow Rich, a Black's Choice. Mm-hmm. So it's actually all Black stories. Yeah, it's all the Black stories.
Because Think and Grow Rich is one of my favorite books. I do love Napoleon Hill, but I do see what you're saying.
Booker T. Washington and just a bunch of different people inside of that book as well.
And so what was the book that you said?
It's called Secrets of a Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker.
Gotcha. Secrets of a Millionaire Mind.
So she ain't gonna tell you, but I think she was asking that because she wanted to see if she's gonna mention The Alchemist. We got this running theme because The Alchemist. Again, I'm not saying
a great book right there.
I'm not even saying again.
Book.
Again, I got no.
She got me second guessing.
I got no qualms.
He's second guessing to make that the #1 book. The Alchemist is that good.
I got no qualms with the book, but every single time we talk about the books, and I'm just like, it was okay. She's like, what? That did change your life? I'm like, it helps.
I'm like, life change, parabolic. Because if anything, because that's why I get excited. You wanted to know who was young Vincent, who came into making him who he is. That's what The Alchemist talks about, like all of those things. Because I envision myself, especially when going through life's challenges. Oh, Lord knows. We talk about entrepreneurship. We talk about the dead cat and bounce in real life. And it's just like, you need to be reminded. I envision myself in the midst of the storm, just after he had the thief and everything else, and how he was in the midst of the desert and in the midst of the storm. And that's when all the greatness was able to come through for everything he'd been through. And that's where I get so excited in hearing about your journey in here in Cali, and it led you here and it led you there. But it took all those things to be this person now, and then to go back and be that for your community and go back and be a stand and a voice in less than 10 years. You're talking about by the time you're 40, back in the day, education, you didn't become a man till you were 40. And this is what now you get to envision for yourself and do because of all the pieces in place. And that is amazing.
So I have one question that I want to make sure, because again, we could talk about this and people are going to make decisions and, get into crypto, blah, blah, but what's three, because this is, again, 95% mental. Right. What are some three mindset or mental tips or tricks just for the entrepreneur coming in so they don't either blow the bag or pull out too soon because of something? What are some things that you can instill or share?
Invest what you can afford to lose.
Okay.
First thing, right? And I'll go, and by saying invest in what you can afford to lose, that's a broad thing to say, right? Also, alongside invest what you can afford to lose, when you invest, delete the app. Delete it. For some people.
Not your wallet.
No. Not your wallet. But not your wallet, but the exchange. Delete the exchange.
You don't want to be opening that thing every day.
Yeah, people like you looking at it every day. It's just I've went through that, right? So not your wallet. Don't delete your wallet. I mean, you can. It may be safe to delete your wallet off your phone. If you got the 24-week key code,
if you got the disclaimer.
24 key code. Don't just
create the wallet. Stone.
All right. I mean, look, get up with me if you need help on that. That's cool. But outside of that, that's my first thing. The second thing I would tell people is work out every day, because life is tough and you need some type of exit. You need to release some type of energy. So work out, do something, be physical, whether that's a walk. I run all the time, you know what I mean? I just ran 7 miles in 9 minutes, you know what I mean? 2 days ago, you know what I mean? That's my thing.
A 9-minute mile?
Per mile.
Okay.
Pace.
Okay.
So 7 miles in 9 minutes. I did just under an hour.
So you ran 7 minutes per mile?
I ran 7 miles, 9 minutes per mile.
9 minutes, okay.
Because I have done faster than 9 minutes. I was stopping and talking to people on the bell.
Wait, so the 9-minute mile was you stopping and talking?
I was talking to people, yeah, because I was I was literally talking. I stopped, had 2 conversations.
And that's what took it up to 9 minutes.
Man, you make me feel fat out of shit.
Wait, what were you saying? That lady? You said, wait, who passed you?
She didn't pass me. I beat her. Let's put that on record. I beat her. So I did a 5K the other day.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Let me know when you do the next one. I love that.
I might not.
Well, I'm supposed to be training for the Peachtree Road Race.
Based on what you said, I might not. But so I did a 5K, and everything was doing good. I was doing about 15 minutes per mile. That's what I did. So,
and it was still solid.
Yeah, but listen,
solid.
I thought I was doing good until technical affairs. So I thought I was doing good until I saw this, I swear, 80-year-old woman was right on my tail. And I looked back, I'm like, she's really trying to pass me. And again, my finish time was,
So you said 80-year-old woman?
I swear, she old 80, bro. Old.
Was she 80. Black?
No, white.
Okay.
And I'm just looking, she really
she might have been 60, man. She might have been 60.
You're right. Black don't crack, so you're right, you might be right. So,
and the same way, she may have been 60 if she looked, okay, maybe.
Oh, yeah, so I'm seeing this, I'm like, oh, hell no. Listen, the energy that I didn't even know I had in reserves came out, and I finished.
Such awful her.
I finished strong. I'm not about to be showed up. But yeah, let that be known, that might be my last 5K.
I'm crying.
The people's on some different.
Well, no, I signed up for the Peachtree Road Race. I didn't know it was a 10K until after I signed up. I was like, wait, I thought it was a 5K.
It gotta be weak.
Different type of energy.
And the third thing is just personal development every single day.
Okay.
You need to listen to something. I turned my car into a
mobile classroom.
I always listen to something. Hell, I've listened to some of y'all's episodes with people I was interested in on YouTube. I've listened to Valuetainment. I listen to just anything. I really love Vibo. Vibo is my thing. VYBO, Vibo on YouTube.
I haven't heard of them.
Never heard of it either.
Vibo goes crazy. You can let Vibo just rotate. You get all types of stuff on Vibo. So that's really that's my channel. That's the one.
Like a Pandora for educational purposes per se.
For straight personal development, motivation.
Okay.
They got some stuff from Well, I ain't gonna say his name because he's in trouble. But they got some stuff from
Gotcha. They got some really great stuff to check out.
Really great stuff. But they got some stuff from like Conor McGregor. They got some stuff from like Hove. You know, they have stuff from Floyd Mayweather.
Okay.
Like just really getting into the mindset. And it's not really them talking, but it's a compilation of all their best videos that they had. Plus that's one side of it, and they have other stuff as well, like books.
Yeah. Because like you said, it's 95% other. Like, and that's one of the things I feel like people want to get ahead in life, and they're like, tell me the secrets, and they're expecting, but it's just like, it's really the mindset.
It's the mindset.
So let's close out on two big questions. We had to push it to the end. So if you're still here, congrats, you about to get it.
Oh, they about to get it.
What are your top 5 projects that you're in right now?
Top 5 projects that I'm in right now.
Yep.
Pull up my portfolio. So top 5 projects that I'm in right now.
And if you want to give a quick synopsis on why, cool. If not, you can just name them.
Yeah, I would love to. So number one, I'm not gonna do I'm gonna do projects, but I'm gonna first start with sectors. 4 sectors that people should be looking at investing into within crypto.
Mm-hmm.
Sector 1 is RWA. Real world assets.
Okay.
Real world asset tokenization, which is and the reason why, so that's going to be your XRP, your XLM, your HBAR, your XDC, and more than that. But for instance, there's one called Propy. You ever heard of it?
No.
Oh man, I'm mess y'all up. I told you I was ready. I was ready for y'all. What does that say?
20. Oh shoot. 24/7 real estate closings. You talking my language?
Talking your language. So this is the Zillow of Web3, and they're huge.
Wow.
Huge. They're the price of their token has skyrocketed. It's like $3 and something now. Like it skyrocketed. I caught it at 50 cents. It skyrocketed. I didn't buy enough. That's one of the ones I'm like, oh man, why you didn't buy more? But it's always gonna be that way because all these companies that's worth something, they're gonna go from 50 cents to $3, $3 to 41. It's gonna happen, and there's reasons behind that. But this is what I call where you can literally, like, I can go on here if I scroll down, and next time we'll definitely have so people can actually see it.
We may need to visit.
We're gonna have a part 2.
We're gonna have a part 2. But you guys, and we'll do more on tokenization on part 2. But I think that should be the top. But Propy is propy.com. PROPY.com. Okay.
You got an affiliate link? We're gonna drop the affiliate link.
I don't have an affiliate link. I ain't affiliated. I'm gonna get one though.
Yeah,
I'm about to get one. So if you look right here, right, what does this say? This is a real house. Hold up, I'm waiting for it to pop up. So 1 Pro equals $3.50 now, right? So 1 Pro equals $3.50.
I would have been in that so quickly if I just knew.
Here it is. Oh damn! Why keep playing with me?
I think it's the other tab.
It is.
Go to the other tab. Oh wait, no, maybe not.
There it is.
All right.
Well, the website got to work first, Propy. But outside, I think it's just my computer. But like, for instance, this is in Palm Beach, Florida. This is $15,758,000, right? Mm-hmm. Apparently
for a 6-bedroom.
For a 6-bedroom. Okay. Now, here's the thing, right? Even this right here on Miami Beach on 9 Island, this is a condo, right? So even understanding this, people can go here and they have what do they call it? Real estate agents with the MLS that's associated here, and they take Ethereum, Bitcoin, USDC. So people can actually go and purchase homes through Propy instead of through Zillow now. So, and the thing about it is it's 24/7, and Propy just created this thing where now titles, they're holding titles in their vault, everything, because everything's going to be tokenized. It's going to make title transfer, everything's going to be so much easier, so much transparent, because on the smart contract.
And so you can't have people stealing people's houses how they doing now. They'll do a quick claim deed.
This was the biggest thing I showed that on one of my episodes 3 episodes ago. I think it was episode 188 or episode 187 of my podcast. But I showed the video of how Propy CEO, that's why she got into that, because people are getting squatted on. People's houses are getting stolen.
Oh, the squatting is going crazy because squatters understand their rights.
Exactly. Exactly. So this moves money faster because in real estate right now, if you were to do a wire transfer in the U.S., do you get it instantly?
Nope.
No, you still don't?
You usually get it. If depending on the time of day, if you do it like 8 a.m.
before
9 a.m.,
5.
Yeah, if you do it like 9, 10 a.m., you might get it that afternoon.
Okay.
But if you do it like at 3 to 4, you get it the
next day, right?
Yep.
Because we're on what's called a T+1. We just switched over to T+1 date, which is through the clearinghouse. So the clearinghouse, we used to be on T+2. Now we're on T+1. T0 is coming next, and that's going to be by 2025 globally. T0 is instant settlement, and that's what XRP does. So with this, with you being able to pay in Bitcoin, even $1.4 million in Bitcoin is still going to be a lot of fees, and it's going to take time. It's not going to settle in 3 to 5. In XRP, so instant.
But part of why the time lapse of money moving is because, especially in America, there's a double spend of money. And it's double sold. Like the second they get your income, they go and spend it and give it to somebody else. So, part of crypto is it avoids double spending.
Exactly.
So then what does that mean? Because so much of American markets make so much off of, because 90% of it, they would have moved it 10 times before it actualized. So when you start talking about moving money instantaneously, how does that work? Because part of the reason why it takes so much time is because your money really is not there.
Yeah. So XRP does something called on-demand liquidity. That's their technology. That's why the SEC sued them, because Wall Street wants to buy Ripple. Like they want to own that technology. Brad Garlinghouse says no. We're not doing that. Their partner, you go look at Ripple, go to World Economic Forum and type in the search menu Ripple, and you'll see their company with the World Economic Forum. Ripple is everywhere.
I should have had my notepad. This is the episode that I should have really had my notepad right here to write all this down.
Well, fortunately, we have the episode.
You can go back and watch it. You can go back
for your own pleasure.
I'm crying. So that's the first. So that's the first one will be real world asset tokenization.
Okay, that's one group.
The next one is AI and big data tokens. Okay. The third one that I would say people should invest in is DeFi, decentralized finance. And then another sector that people aren't thinking about is DAOs. Decentralized autonomous organization. Actually, decentralized autonomous organizations is the new LLC for businesses of the Web3. So you can go get a DAO in Wyoming, if I'm not mistaken. It's the only state that does it, just like the LLCs. And so, is it not Wyoming? What state is it for LLCs? Nebraska?
For what?
To like
anonymity.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a couple of them, like Delaware, Utah.
I think it might be.
I think it was.
I have to look it up. I think it's one of these one-off states. It may be actually. I think it's Delaware, not Wyoming. Delaware. So either way, though, you can look it up. Where do I create a DAO? It's one state you can do it as of now in the U.S., but it allows for you to do what's called a structure. We're not going to break that down today, but basically you have a governance structure, DAO governance token. So like all things entrepreneur could be a DAO, and you could have a smart contract where people get NFTs early, and then, after they get the NFTs early, then, they have some type of equity, some type of utility behind it. Maybe it's a cruise, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's a yearly meetup. It could be whatever, but those people with those early NFTs, and as y'all building value, right, they can go and sell it to the next person that wants to buy it. And you can put on the back end a royalty fee, 5%, 6%.
So every time it sells,
every time that NFT is resold, which is just a contract, you collect.
You get a kickback off that.
Sounds like we should do that and end up in your DR spot.
And the last one I would tell people, and this is the one I'm actually doing a masterclass next Thursday on this. It's called Deep in the Bag.
Deep in the bag.
Deep in the bag. Like, pun intended. It's like getting deep in your bag, right? But deep in is a sector. Decentralized physical infrastructural networks. I gotta show you this. Okay, so you see this messed up phone right here?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So this phone at the top, what does it say? Helium.
I'm scared to touch it. You're gonna get a what do you call it?
I don't touch it.
Finger something.
You say helium, right? I'll just take the SIM card and put it in a new phone. But this was the phone I had to start getting this bag real quick. I didn't want to go buy a new phone. So I put a business line on here, right? Helium Mobile is $20 a month, right? Unlimited everything. They just got a partnership with they partnered with T-Mobile. They about to release a partnership to offload data from AT&T, and they just released in Telefonica, which is in Mexico. This company, you pay $20 a month, unlimited everything, and they pay you in their crypto. Now their crypto token, Helium Mobile, is two tenths of a penny today, maybe 3 cents now. So 0.003 per coin. So I'm gonna show you my Helium Mobile wallet. I've been doing this since January 5th. And I told you, what's today? It's April. So how many months is that? 4 months?
Yeah.
So I've had service going on almost 5 months now. Okay. Hey, look at this right here. How many tokens does it say I have?
112,417.
How much is that worth today?
$329.
20, 40, 60, 80. I only pay $80 for cell phone service, and this company has paid me $329 based on what the value is. So I got 112,000 tokens for free right now. So even at 10 cents, that's 10 grand. That's over $10,000.
We gonna talk about this. For people who want the part 2, because the part 2 will definitely happen.
I feel like we done shot 2 episodes right now.
Drop in the comments what you want us to harp in more on, talk about more. Just drop in the comments. But let's wrap up here.
Let's wrap it up.
So you gave us.
It's getting hot in here. Take off my shirt. Take off this jacket. It's getting hot in here.
So you gave us the 4 quadrants everyone needs to be in.
Yes.
You gave us 2 projects actually.
Yes.
So give us 3 more.
You want 3 more? Okay.
3 more.
Yeah, it's 3 more.
You gave us 4
So I gave you
projects.
Propy. So I gave you Propy. I gave you Helium Mobile. Those are not my top ranking, but those are some I recommend that are low right now.
Yeah.
The 3 that I recommend that everybody look into is XRP, HBAR, and XLM.
Stellar, HBAR. What's HBAR's for?
Adara Hash Graph.
Adara Hash, and then a Ripple. Yep. Awesome. Well, how can people get in touch with you, man? Because obviously you're gonna want to speak. There's people gonna get in touch with you.
You can follow me on my Instagram. Social media is at the Vincent Owens. So THE Vincent VINCENTOWENS. The Vincent Owens. I do have fake pages out there, so just be careful that you get my right one. Right now,
We'll drop the real one in the links.
I'm at like 23,000 followers on that page right now, so that's the only one. Beware. Other places, Coffee and Crypto Network on all platforms. Coffee and Crypto Network on all platforms.
I love the alliteration. And I'm so excited. I mean, this was such a powerful conversation. Like you see, like they call it the endless dialogue. You never want it to
I don't know
stop.
what time it is.
I know. I don't even know either.
Well, this was definitely a treat, man. We appreciate you again, Vincent.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks for tuning in to another episode of All Things Entrepreneur. I've been your host, Jessica Myers.
And it's your boy, Errol J. Allen.
And if you like more information like this, like we said, if you want more shows, more information, be sure to like and subscribe and see the information below. And as always, thanks for tuning in. You know you got it. Let's get it. Let's go.